Yo, 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 what's poppin'? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario. So, ladies, I'm about to give y'all some game on how to keep a man, and not just keep a man, but keep the man that you really want, the guy that you like. Because I know a lot of y'all ladies, y'all settle for dudes you don't really want because the guy you really want is not trying to stay with you. And this is the thing. What you ladies have to understand is this: the reason why it's so hard for you to find a man that you want and keep him is because most of the guys that you want are the highly sexually attractive guys that other women want. And this is why it's hard for you to keep that guy. And which is why you settle for a guy that you're kind of like, well, he's there, he's consistent, he has money, so I'll settle for him. But you don't really want him. You don't lust him. That's not really the guy. So I'm going to teach you how to get the guy you really want in a longer term situation, right? Now, it's real simple. All you got to do is two things. The two things are, don't ask him for shit and give him what he wants. Okay, don't ask him for shit and give him what he wants. It's that simple. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by don't ask him for shit and give him what he wants, right? So what you have to understand is that a lot of times when you're dealing with these guys who are, the super attractive guys that you really want, there's other women who are dealing with them also, right? So what women will tend to do, and I'm sure you have done this at some point where you really like a guy and y'all are, let's say, hooking up or going out or whatever, and then you start to, ask him to like, hey, we should be together. Where is this going? I want you to spend more time with me. I want you to spend more money on me, whatever. You're asking him for stuff, right? And so what you got to understand is that that's a turnoff, because what happens is that in that guy's reality, women get attached really quickly and want a lot from him, right? Now, if he's attracted to you, he's interested in you, and let's say y'all get together and y'all hook up, and then, you're not blowing up his phone, you're not, going crazy or whatever, right? He's probably thinking about you like, yo, let me go call that girl again. She seemed cool. You get together again, y'all hook up, y'all do what you do, and then, you go about your business, right? Now, what's going to happen is, because you're not asking him for anything, because you're not trying to put no pressure on him, because you're not acting needy like the other women, right? You stand out from the other women, right? So if he is attracted to you, right, and he's also hooking up with these other girls or whatever it is like that, understand that you're differentiating yourself by not being as needy and clingy as the other women. Right now, that's the first part, right? And so that's you not asking him for anything. You're just, you're not sweating him. You're not texting him a million times a day, right? So he's getting back to you. He's setting up more time with you, and it is what it is, right? Even if you guys are just getting together to hook up, right? So I just want to make that clear, because some of y'all think, oh, well, he's just using me for sex. He might be just using you for sex at this moment, but he likes the fact that y'all are having sex. You're not giving him any shit. You're not asking him for anything. You're not putting no pressure on the situation. So in most cases, if he's actually interested in you, he will keep hooking up with you, but he may at some point, you understand what I'm saying? Like, see you as something more than just hooking up. Now, there is the situation where he might not, but that's the chance you have to take in order to get a guy like this. There's no other way about this, because what you got to understand is there's competition. He's the top guy. You're not the only one who wants him. You feel what I'm saying? So now what you have to understand is that you're in indirect competition with all the other women. Now, the part where I say give him what he wants, now this part is a little trickier, because what happens is that you need to be an active listener when you're interacting with this guy, you're having conversations or interactions, and what you're going to find out is something that he actually, feels he wants or needs in his life. And then you come in and you basically help fulfill that, right? So it could be something as simple as, let's say you had a conversation with a guy and he was like, yeah, I'm really into sneakers and I like the new so-and-sos that, are about to come out or whatever, right? And then he's like, I'm thinking about like getting those maybe by the end of the year. So then you end up buying the sneakers and you surprise him with the sneakers. You understand what I'm saying? You're giving him what he wants. So he's like, oh shit. And remember, you're surprising him with the sneakers and doing all of this, and you're still not asking for anything in return. You're not asking him anything. You're not trying, hey, I stopped by, I saw these sneakers. Aren't these the ones that you want? Yeah, I just thought, you deserve these. Here, take these. Do you understand? Now remember, you're differentiating yourself from the other women who want him, but they're not giving him anything and they're pressuring him for something right now. Let me give you another example. Let's say you're talking to this guy and you find out that he is trying to start a business. He wants to open up some restaurants or whatever it is like that. And he's thinking about it and he's trying to, get into that, trying to be an entrepreneur. And you know this. So now let's say you just text them some links to some articles that, talk about how to open up your own restaurant and so forth and so on, right? It could be as simple as that. So you're giving him something that he wants. So you're adding value to his life, right? That is, something else of value besides your vagina. That's what I wanted to say, right? So besides your vagina, you're adding something of value to his life. You see what I'm saying? So now you're adding something of value to his life and you're not asking for anything in return, which is not putting pressure on him. So what happens is all the women he's dealing with, right? You basically stand out. Why? Because you're giving him something while the other women aren't. You're giving him something that other women aren't doing. And on top of that, you are doing what he wants, which is for you to come over, hook up, y'all date, do whatever, without you bugging him or asking him for anything. You're waiting on him to make the decisions of where this situation goes, right? So what happens is as you're doing this with this type of guy, that's the way you'll stand out for that type of guy if you want those type of guys. See, the reasons why a lot of you ladies have a hard time getting these type of guys is because you're still in the mindset of what can he do for me, right? But remember, he has lots of women to choose from. So why would he choose you if he has all these women? What makes him want to choose you is that you are different than all the women. How are you different than all the women? Instead of begging and being needy and clingy and nagging, talking about where is this going, you're just chilling. So you're different than the other women. You're the only woman out of the group that's not begging for a relationship, that's not acting all clingy, acting all weird, talking about, oh, where's this going? You're the only woman who's not doing that. And on top of that, all the women are expecting him to just drop everything for them and do for them. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna do that for? I got all these other chicks I could just hook up with or whatever. And even though he may want a longer term situation at some point, there has to be something different about this woman outside of vagina that will actually catch his attention. So now that you're doing things for him, you're paying attention to his wants and needs, that elevates you and makes you more attractive than just your vagina. Do you see what I'm saying? So the issue is this, right? You're going to either settle for the guy you don't want, or you're going to have to compete for the guy you really do want. It's really that simple. All right. So listen, ladies, if y'all need any more help with this game, hit me up in a DM and I'll holler at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. I'm out.